Again, we'll call our special call meeting of the Ware County Board of Commissioners in the city of Waycross at 4 o'clock on Monday, June 1st, 2020. And begin with a roll call vote, beginning with Commissioner Pope. Commissioner Pope. Commissioner Barnes. Commissioner Carter. Commissioner Worst. And the chair is present. Let the record show that we have one commissioner. Commissioner Pope is absent. Okay, I'm going to forward the mic over to the mayor for his roll call.
Commissioner Davis.
Present.
Commissioner Three. Commissioner Solomon Gaines.
Present.
Commissioner Hopkins.
Present.
Commissioner Strickland.
Present.
And the mayor is present. We have one absent.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Let's all stand for the invocation that I'll do and the Pledge of Allegiance by our mayor. Our Father, we just thank you for this opportunity to be here today, Lord, to carry out the business of our community, Lord, and such an important issue that we have before us, Lord. God, we ask you to let our minds be thoughtful of our community. And whatever we say or do here today, Lord, would be most important, be pleasing to you. We thank you, Lord, for everybody that's here today to hear our deliberations. We thank you for each commissioner that's here. We thank you for those that are not here, Lord, whatever their reason is, sick, shut in, whatever it may be, Lord, you know all about it. God, I give you all the honor and all the praise for we ask it in your wonderful name. Amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor and commissioners, and those that are up here. Appreciate you coming. This is an important issue for us today, and first time since 2000. Since 1990, I believe it was, and of course it disappointed a lot of folks. Not only disappointed leadership, but it disappointed a lot of people in our city and county because there's so many items, so many issues, and so many progressive things that he has done with this one penny. And we hope that both city and county governments can look this list over. And I'm going to ask our manager Scott Moore, if he'll kind of go through the list that he's Mike too.
I might be able to talk loud. I don't know if everybody can hear me or not. Thank you, Mr. Chairman, Mr. Mayor, and Commissioners. This meeting that we're holding today is a requirement by state law that for us to start this process, we have time periods that we have to meet. Part of the information that I distributed was our schedule, our tentative schedule. Also know that the schedule's a little bit fast in that we're planning it a little ahead of time, so that way we have time to work our list and our projects. After after speaking with, after speaking with the city manager, I believe the city's projects haven't been vetted yet as far as any changes that we had from last year, from November of 2019. The list that I provided for the county commission, I don't know if the city has a copy of it, but it was a list that was created from last time that we tried to renew the SPLOST. And the projects that I included was a redo, if you will, of of county projects, and provided that information to the county commission. But correct me if I'm wrong, County Attorney, that basically what we need to do is discuss the time frame and the percentage split on the proceeds for successful in renewing the SPLOST come November 2020. And I have extra copies of the list if anybody needs a copy of it.
I do. You got it.
Yep. Okay.
I'll just say, we have not met as a commission yet. The city commission has not met yet, so we do not have a list yet. But we will, it's on our work session today to discuss whether we would like to have a special SPLOST work session to discuss what is on the list for the city.
Mr. Chairman, the list that you just passed out is the old list, right?
There's
The one
actually
you just referred to is the old list.
correct, yeah, from last year.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, I passed that one out, and I have a revised list just for county projects at this point.
Okay. Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, I know we're trying to more or less keep a template on these things and move forward as fast as we can. I understand that. But COVID-19 had a devastating effect on the financing of and revenues of this city. And I'd like for us to consider really sort of increasing the split between the city and the county. What is it now? What is it now? 40 to 60? I know that's the law. That is if we don't negotiate anything higher. And I'd like to see us 45, 55, because we have had just like the county, we've had a very hard strain on our revenues. And this is an opportunity for us to make up for that. You know, my premise and my position has always been that we pave the roads to where we pick up the taxes from those businesses, and that is definitely a burden on us. So I like for us to consider that because of the devastation of this pandemic that's on our city, and I empathize with you that it is also with you, but I have an obligation to the citizens of Waycross, Georgia, who's asking for more. Thank you.
Mr. Davis, I don't know.
city, county manager, commissioners, just glad to be here today and to try to hopefully bring this to fruition about this split on the sales tax. As Commissioner Davis alluded to earlier about the split, and it's nothing set in stone, but we have to stick with this 40 to 60. And I know even when I was on the city council, there were times when we negotiated the split on the sparks tax. But in the negotiation process, there were also things that were where the city, basically just like the jail, for instance, I remember that particularly, where the city no longer had to worry about the operation of the jail because the county took it on. So in that regard, they got a little bit more of the pie. So when we start talking about negotiating the split, you know, the percentage of it, then this is something that's going to have to be considered too, as far as what would the city take on, or what would the county take on, or what would the county give up. But as I stated, and I reiterate that it's not set in stone about the 40, 60, and everything is negotiable. So I think at this point in time, everybody's been impacted by the COVID-19 as far as our budgets, and I think that we need to try to work together on this here. And as I said, the city's been impacted pretty hard, and I think also the county as well. But we want to do what's in the best interest of our constituents, what's in the best interest of our county and city. So with that being said, I think that it's something that maybe we need to look at as far as negotiating a split on it. But we also need to also negotiate whatever the services we're going to either enhance or we're going to deviate from.
Mr. Chairman.
Well, within the time frame that we've got set up, it seems like we've slept at the wheel a little bit, and we're not up to snuff on that. I think it's a little late to back up. I know we want to attend to where the money needs to be the most, but at the same time, I think we've waited a little late to start negotiating now.
Again, coming back, I think that at this point in time, we all want to be optimistic about the sales tax passing. So, like I said, I don't think it's too late. I think that we just need to try to come together as one body and try to get this worked out. Because what we got to remember is the bottom line, this is what's going to benefit not just this commission, county commission or the city commission. This is what's going to benefit the citizens of the city of Waycross. And I've always been a proponent of the splash tax from its inception, because one thing we forget that I think they did what is announced about 40 or 45% of the money that come into the splash tax actually come from outside of this community. So this is what we need to think about, and you know, the split, that's something to be considered, but we also need to remember these are the things that if it had not been for the splash tax, a lot of things that we see now, we wouldn't be seeing. And we're talking about 1 penny, and you know, it's a whole lot easier to do it that way than to try to, because I can remember the time when if you wanted your street paid, you had to pay a certain proportion, whatever. If you stayed on the corner lot, you had to pay twice. But with the splash tax, which is one of the greatest and the best assets that this city and county could ever come up with, it's helped a lot of things. It's been a lot of things to help us move forward. And the last time when the splash come up, I believe it passed overwhelmingly in the city, but it was something like in the county, and this is what I talked with the county manager about, trying to find out what is it that caused it to fail. You know, if we can find out and identify what caused it to fail in the county and try to address that issue. But one thing about it, we all live here together, so we either gonna all ride together or we gonna all fall together. So I think we need to really try to promote the splash tax, and not only just promote it, but try to let the citizens know what we're planning to do with the splash tax.
Mr. Chairman, first, I absolutely agree with you. The last time that when
Commissioner Davis, I have the floor, please, sir. Thank you.
I'm sorry.
That's okay. It's perfectly fine. I would like, as a city commissioner, would like to see more than 40% with the city as well. However, as we said before, it did not pass in the county. It passed in the city the last time. but didn't pass in the county. So I want us to come together, city and county. We need to come together because right now, neither one of us have anything. Personally, I'd rather have the 40% than nothing. And right now, that's what we have. So I really don't want us to get bogged down in, 50, 45, 60, whatever. I don't want us to get bogged down in that. I want us to go ahead and, first of all, we need to agree as city and county governments together whether or not we want to go forward with this thing. That's the number one thing we need to agree upon. And then we need to go to the next step and agree upon the listing here, whatever list we have. So I don't want us to get bogged down and spend 30 minutes talking or discussing what the split is going to be. We need to move forward. Let's move forward. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Let's count the numbers on the vote. Most of the time, this plot does not pass in the county. It's the citizens of Waycross, Georgia, that usually gets it over the hump. The reason it failed last time is because there was a decrease in the amount of citizens in the city of Waycross that voted against it. We don't want to go there again. The citizens of Waycross, Georgia, is saying that they want more of the pie because this city has suffered during COVID. Now, we want to pass this thing, and we need to make it more, say what I would speak, more apples and oranges for the city, for them to come out and vote for this. Because you're not going to get one in the county, you get one in the city. And I completely agree with Mr. Burke. Now, I understand that the county is doing the jails, but that is because our citizens are number different. We have to pay both city and county taxes, so that's your way of providing for that increase of giving back to the city, citizens of this city. I'm an advocate of this city. I was thinking about this city. And I'm listening to what this city is saying. They want more of the pie. If we get bogged down in it, so be it. The bottom line is that being passed, you can agree on something and it fails at the poll. Or you agree on something today and it will succeed at the poll, and we will have something. But all we have right now is a piece of paper. And that piece of paper will not become a realization unless the citizens of Waycross, Georgia vote it over. And they're asking for more of the pie. And it's negotiable. I completely agree with you, Mr. Burris. Thank you.
I see on this proposal, Rick Curry or either the county attorney, it states on here, the remaining funds are 60 for the county, 40 for the city. State law mandates funding split based on the 2010 census. So does that mean that we have to continue that until we finish the 2020 census?
I've got the guide for county officials that I refer to also. So it says that there's a method number one by intergovernmental agreement, and that is whatever you decide on. If you do not reach the intergovernmental agreement, do not sign that, then it's based on population.
Okay, so right now it is 60-40 unless we renegotiate with the county city commissioners and come up with another solution.
And my numbers from the last meeting, whenever that was 59.45 in the county, 40.55, and that's the rounding off of 60-40.
Thank you.
Mr. Mayor.
the sake of sounding repetitious, okay, when the SPLOST came up the last time, and I'm just asking this for informational purposes, this was pre-COVID-19. Was there any problem with the split at that time?
Yeah.
Wasn't.
I voiced, yeah.
To answer your question, the people who attended the meetings that led up to that, there were no issues.
Okay, so there's no issue with the 40-60.
No.
Okay, and like I said, I know we've all had a little downturn, but it's not just the city had a downturn, but the county also in revenue. So basically, I mean, if you put it in that context, we talking about the same thing as far as you all lost money, we lost money, and I represent the county, what our city district. So my interest is kind of, I guess, split both ways. But there was no problem with the 40-60 prior COVID-19. Okay. So with that being said, and again, like I said, being repetitious here, as Commissioner Gaines alluded to earlier, you know, as I say, a half a loaf is better than none at all. And I know that in the perfect world, we would like for it to be 50-50. But we also got to weigh out everything. So I think this point we need to really keep in mind about the citizens in the city, the citizens in the county, and how this is going to impact us as a community as a whole. Because if it doesn't pass, you think COVID-19 was bad, we're going to really have it. We're going to have another COVID-20 this time. Because you don't have the revenues coming in. And I think you all getting ready to go into y'all budget probably next month, just like we're going to be going our budget, where you used to have this money to get projects done. We won't have that anymore after June, I believe it is.
Okay, I'll listen. I don't think there's nobody sitting at this table up here that worked in government as long as I have. If you worked 52 years, you get that one what I have. So let me tell you something, folks. This penny is detrimental to the survival of this community.
It can't hear you, Mr. Chairman. For some reason, it's not. Okay, there you go.
Test 1, 2. These are some sensitive mics. It's important, it's imperative that we have this penny. Not just Ware County, but the city of Waycross too. It's been 40-60 forever. We have a penny that's gonna run out. When's the teeth pennies run out, Mr. Manager?
This one that we're in,
No, sir, I'm talking about the teeth penny, teeth slots.
roughly about 2.5 years.
2.5 years. Okay, whenever that came up, how we gonna divide the penny, that penny? I'm the author of that. I said we're gonna split it 50-50. And that's what we did. 100% agreement between the city and county. Now folks, that penny has allowed us to do a lot of road work. The last accounts I had, I think I still got that list of something like $26 million worth of projects that we got going on in the county. And whenever this penny runs out, 2.5 years, that $26 million ain't gonna be there. So what's gonna happen? Roads and other enhancements are gonna stop. Yes, because of, so I'm very sad. Well, this thing I talk sometimes, but sometimes Test. Got to hold it just right. Okay, I'm looking at the single T-Splosh penny that was voted on in November of 2017, right here. Folks, we got 16,000, we had 16,779 registered voters in Waycross-Ware County. You know how many of them out of 16,000? How about 1,189? So 1,189 decided for 16,000, plus the balance of the 26,000 people in Waycross-Ware County. So the voters of Waycross-Ware County is not doing themselves and ourselves justice. If you don't vote, you shouldn't say nothing. All right, now let's go over to the regional. The county commission has been accused, well, y'all imposed penny number 9 on us. Those are, in that referendum it said, if the county, any county, in 18 counties so chose not to participate, then we could impose our own 1 penny. And we would not be subjected to this penny. Well, guess what? The Attorney General changed his mind, or somebody did. So we having to pay that penny number 9. Now, 18 counties, I want you to listen to this, folks. T-Splosh. They was 20, they was, let's see, I guess this would be, yeah, this is just in Waycross-Ware County. They was 889 yeses and 2,495 voted no. Same, except we increased our voting by almost 1,000. 17,900, almost 18,000. All right, 18 counties. If the people in Waycross-Ware County had voted, we wouldn't be talking about that penny number 9 that the county commission has been accused of imposing on the taxpayers of Waycross-Ware County, which was not true. So we stuck with that. Whenever this penny number, T-Splosh penny runs out 2.5 years, then there goes all the road construction, all the enhanced projects that we do. That's all going to be gone. And the only thing we got left is this penny right here that we're talking about. And it's left up to you folks that voted. It's left up to this body to decide how we're going to do it. And of course, it's been 40-60 forever. We got a project going right now, and I'm not going to name the streets. Half of it leaves about 1/4 mile of it in the city, and the other part of it is in the county. The county commission chose to pave that, it's about less than 1/4 mile, to keep, long street over there on that side is not paved out. Testing. 1, 2, 3. They talk whenever they want to. But anyhow, we are paving that city street. We didn't come to the city and say, hey, we're not going to pave this street because it's in the city. I told the county commission it's a little short. Well, about like from here to Tebow Street right there, I said, let's pave it while we're here. It ain't going to cost much. Who's paying for it? We pay for it out of our Splosh penny. We didn't come to the city and say, hey, y'all going to have to pay for this now. We ain't going to do it. We didn't do that. You know, I don't know how many city commissioners knows that, but that's facts. Anyhow, I'm going to push with that. Do we need to, we either, I think what we got, what we got to do is decide, are we going to have the 40-60 split? Or are we going to say we're going to think
55, 45. 55, 45.
Thank you, Mr. Chief. Before you go on to ask about the split, I just want to make a comment. I'm on Facebook all the time, and throughout this entire procedure to try to get this vote passed the last time, people on Facebook saying vote no, vote no, vote no. Guess what? A lot of those people are from Pierce County, and guess what happened in Pierce County? It passed. But they're all over into Ware County saying, don't vote for it, don't vote for it. And as a county of people, we need to stop being think about your own community and what's good for you. Don't pay attention to what they're telling you in Pierce County to do in Ware County, or any other county for that matter. Think about the needs of this community and go forward and do what we need to do to make sure we have the funding. To make sure that we have the funding that we need in order to continue to operate as two local governments. Okay, Mr. Chairman, that's all I want to say about that. As far as the split is concerned, I'm good with 40-60.
You say you good with 40-60?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
That's better than what we have now, which is nothing.
Mr. Chairman.
But let's do this. We ain't getting nowhere. Let's let the county commission.
Let me just make one statement in downtown. I'm not dealing with any illusions or I'm not dealing with opinions. I'm dealing with facts. Now, the bottom line is the vote. And the people that I talk to are from Pierce County. They're from Ware County and Waycross. And I represent a district that votes. And anyone who counts the vote from Waycross already knows it. And I'm telling you what I'm being told. Now, I'm not, and the people that I come to represent here, I'm not satisfied with 64, and they want 55, 45. Now, we have laid that back on the table. That's it. And so I've laid it out. I've done my job. It's up to you.
Okay. What I'm gonna do, the county side's going, I need a motion. How we gonna vote? You making a motion, Commissioner Carter is making a motion to stay at 46. Okay, do I have a second? Got a motion and a second. All right, I'm gonna begin with a roll call vote, begin with Commissioner Burris.
Discussion on that?
Yeah, I already got the second. I got the motion and the second.
Okay, yes, discussion. You want
Yes.
discussion?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And I keep going back to what I said originally, but Commissioner Davis, I agree with you up to this point right here. Okay. You were in agreement with the 40-60 prior to COVID-19.
No.
You weren't?
No.
Okay, do the citizens, and not to say, I know the citizens in that district, I know the citizens in the city of Waycross. Do they realize if we hold out on this 5%, what impact it would have on the community that we serve?
Everything is negotiable.
Right, I agree. But at this point right here, I don't know if we even have time, like I say, to really start talking about the percentage. I mean, that's something maybe that should have been done even before I come on county commission and, whenever it was come up the last time about the split part of it. And you say you voice opposition to it then, right?
Yes, and also I applaud the county commission and the chairman that made it split 50-50, and that was very good. I'm not asking 50-50, I'm just simply asking that we do 55-40.
Okay, so if we can't agree on this split, then it's gonna look like we're split as a community, as sitting in the county commission, because you going out saying, well, don't vote for it because we couldn't get the other 5%. If I go out and say don't vote for it because we couldn't get the other, then now we really got people confused now.
But it's not me going out, it's me coming in what they are telling me.
Okay. Like I say, I just come on, 2 or 3 months ago, and I'm trying to see if we can kind of come to some happy medium on this thing, because I know how critical it is, because splash tax has been in existence for about 30 years. Okay, one of the things that we did, whenever the first splash tax, I wasn't even on the city council, but I went around because I knew how important it would be and how advantageous it would be, not
one of the things that I think that the county needs to do, and I know we got a motion here, but I think one of the things we got to look at from a county's perspective, we got to do a little bit better job marketing the squash tax. I think in all fairness, I think that maybe the county maybe dropped the ball, maybe they didn't do as good a job. Because when the first squash tax come out, every entity that was gonna be a beneficiary of that squash tax, they had a representative. We went around not just in one place, different churches, went around different places and educated the people to let them know if you pass the squash tax. And we had people then that was totally just against it. They said, well, it's just another tax increase. But I'm looking at it through the windows in the island, how it's gonna benefit our community. I think it's gonna benefit our community greatly. And I think that, this is something that we need to do as a county, promote it a little bit better. And I hope that we can come to some kind of agreement on the split. That's why I asked the question, was the 60-40, was that an issue before COVID-19? And my understanding, other than what Commissioner Davis said, I believe what he said, that he was against it then. But I don't know what the remaining commission, whether they were against it or they supported it or whatever. But I would hope that some kind of way we can get over this hurdle, because in the end, it's going to be the citizens that's going to really hurt. And that includes me and you.
Let me remind everybody that this 46 has been in existence from the creation of this penny. And the same two commissions, minus the mayor, we all voted for this previous list in 2019 that failed. It wasn't split. Both city and county governments agreed to it. And what's happened now, we have revised it. Now we're waiting on the city's revision side. So I'm not gonna say anything else. I'm gonna call for our side to vote, the county side, and then I'm gonna turn the mic over to the mayor.
Yeah, just a point of correction. It hasn't always been 60-40. Different times when the squash tax come up, it will be negotiated, but I think the last time I did 60-40, but like I say, Turner said, it's based on population sometimes, and this is how the county has control of the jail now, because we negotiated down less of our percentage so that they can take that over. So anytime you give up something or you lower that percentage, then you're gonna be getting something in return.
All of us need to remind ourselves that the census is important, and you would be surprised at the people that threw that census in the trash can. When every family that threw that in the trash can, they just shorted this community out of $23,000 per family in federal money. That's the benefit of throwing it in the trash can. There's a bunch of folks I'm sure did. That percentage split is based on the census tract. So it will be the next 2021, whenever the new 10-year census comes out, then if that population in the city and county changes, then that will change the percentage split. Okay, we got a motion and a second, any more discussion?
And the motion was on the split.
Sir?
The motion was on the split, right?
Yes, sir. Okay, Commissioner Warren? Commissioner Carter? And the chair votes aye. Okay, Mr. Mayor.
I'd like to ask one big question. Rick, this is a joint meeting or work session. Are we supposed to be voting?
This is a called meeting.
So we can't vote?
I kind of,
I don't know that it's necessary. I think we legally can, but, if it's necessary, we are obviously missing one of our members. And so if the vote turned out 5-4, I do not believe it would be binding on this commission if the city, outvoted the county. There's nothing like that. It's just that they have to be in agreement. So if they want to take a vote just to get a consensus among them to know whether they're in agreement with
yeah,
status.
I agree with Jennifer. I don't know that it's necessary to have a motion. Simply, we do a lot of things by consensus. I think that would be fine if the mayor wishes to do that. It is a called meeting instead of a work session
We
or
can
a
vote.
public hearing.
Reflect the work session.
So, it's just to determine whether or not there is agreement on proceeding into an intergovernment. If the commissions do not reach an agreement and sign the intergovernmental agreement, then you have only 5 years for the tax, and then you go by the population, which is close to 64.
I just want to make sure we're in a regular, like a meeting, that's fine.
I don't remember seeing, I need to look at what was in.
It was
We got,
It's advertising for me.
yeah, it was advertised as a joint call meeting, so I think motions are appropriate with call meetings.
I second it, Mr. Mayor. The motion was to leave the split as is. Mr. Kirk.
There's a motion and second.
I made a motion, Larry made a second. That's it.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed, same sign.
Okay, so the split remains the same. Madam City Manager, if you'll revise your list, and so we get this thing compiled and get it to the, so we get it on the agenda. Since we've done that, let me clarify this one thing. Commissioner Burris is talking about advertising, and all of you remembers about the time that we had our meeting of the administration did, both city and county decided on the list. Then splits, did there for 8 years. Again, we had that tragedy at the Journal Herald. Roger Williams passed away, and so we had no way to advertise, and no way to let nobody know what we were going to do. And that hurt us bad. Not really. Both city and county have advertising. So, anybody else wants to get out of the way?
I think Ms. Carter, you got her hand up.
I was just gonna review when we need to have that list by. According to this, it says we will have the city approve the agreement at a called meeting on Friday, June 16th in the morning. But I believe June 16th is on a Tuesday, and that is a regular commission meeting day anyway. So if you need that in the morning, then maybe we could alter the June 15th meeting towards the June 17th morning? Okay. So we'll just, so the city commission will talk about a work session time to go over the splash list, and then we'll approve an agreement. We'll get it to the county before the June 16th meeting so the attorneys can review, and then we'll have it on that agenda if that's okay with the commission. Great, thank you.
Okay, anyone else? Mr. Manager?
I'm just going to reiterate what she said. It gives both sides about 2 weeks to work on the list and kind of fine tune and massage it.
So that date will be
for the city would be June 16th, and then we'll get it the very next day, and then have a meeting during that time period.
all right. Do we have to have a call meeting to do that?
Sure.
Mr. County Manager, could you go over the two lists for the people, do a comparison?
Yes. The first list, the proposed list that was from last year, there was level 2 projects, which are basically joint projects with the city and the county. There, and I don't know if there's a list, I can make copies for everyone to take back, but you have 911 enhancements. There's also a new public safety radio system, communication system of $3.6 million. This is the digital system with the new radio towers all through the county. I believe there was either 6 or 7. The library needed some renovations and enhancement because of the age of the building. The airport building improvements, we're doing those now with some, but this would be a renovation, remodel of the airport. The Public Safety Training Center facility, that is for improvements and additional components components to the training facility. The economic development is for industrial development, recruitment of $1 million to the WWDA. And our county projects, and not to bore you with the details, but those are all outlined there that we have, excuse me, from last year. This was what was agreed on, and this is what went to the voters for the on the referendum. And the projected list that we have is basically to eliminate or reduce the amount in building improvements and facilities, and focus from the county side primarily to put more money in roads, bridges, streets, and drainage projects, and that way would free up additional funds for those kind of things. And I do know that's a huge need for the city also. One of the things I wanted to mention too, with that difference, with what we have, we would be splitting between the county and the city $40,550,000, and so it's about a $24 million to about a $16 million split.
Any more questions, commissioners? Okay.
So according to our calculation, it's, the county will be getting 24.4 million, and the city will get 16.2 million out of it, is that right?
That's correct.
I got it.
Okay, any more questions? Hearing none, I'll entertain a motion. Oh, excuse me.
Mr. Chairman, if I could, so the 2021 SPLOSH proposed projects from the county, the level 2 projects are lower than the previous list that was 2019. So it's about $3 million lower, so I just wanted to make sure that the city commissioner saw that, and that if it's $3 million lower, then the city would get 40% of the lower amount that would go back to the city. Do you know what I mean? Just thought I'd point that out.
Yeah. Yeah, you got more money shifted back into the
Maybe
city.
say thank you. Yes, sir.
Okay, any more questions? Hearing none, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
So move, Mr. Chair.
Yeah, got a motion, got all kinds of moves and seconds, all in favor by saying aye. Aye. We adjourn.